Thank you everybody for being here. This is class 3. If you're here today, I congratulate you from making this far. And if you're watching it on YouTube, thank you for supporting the East Bronx Public Library. Here I am with my friend Nora, that was lent to me today because today theme is a unicorn, because today we're going to try to work a unicorn, which is p5.js. And today is the last class of how to combine HTML, CSS, and p5.js. So this is the last piece, and this is our unicorn, because this is the thing that is being missing from the whole equation, and is evasive. So p5.js is JavaScript, but it's a library. It's p5.js live in the world of JavaScript. So it's a specific, it's the unicorn of JavaScript that allows us to make wonderful graphic design. And this is the aim, that you're going to be able to make this wonderful graphic design, interactive web experiences, because that's what you're going to be able to do. Web experiences, things that you're going to have people experience through the magic of the web. So I hope everybody has the handout that you can see here on my screen. Okay, everybody has that, and as usual, you can put it aside for now, but everybody should have it. And open processing. If you have any questions, please use your Tuesday class 22.1 channel and ask any questions there, or the Zoom chat. Some of you have reached to ask questions, love questions, love to show and tell. One way to share your work and to seek feedback or help or anything that you would like to share with me, you can go to your sketch and get the address. So you go here, you open your sketch, and you're gonna get the website address, and you can right click, copy, and then you can put the URL right here on Slack or on an email. So I'm going to put it here so you can see my sketch. That way I can see your sketch, and that way I can help you if you need help, or maybe you want to show me what you did, and I can be amazed of what you have done. I have seen some people, other people showcase their work, so I really like to see that. So that's the way. So remember, just take this URL, web link, web address, and just copy and paste it. So you select it, copy and paste it, and just put it in an email or in Slack. And that way I can see your code. And that's the way you are going to most likely share your code if you ever want to share your code, either for work or for college, or for school, with others. You're going to share this URL. Most of the time, you're going to be working on a platform that is going to be online. You're not going to share Word documents or anything like that. Sometimes you're going to be able to share the files, but not a lot. So most likely you're going to be sharing it. Either there's going to be a location on the website that you can reach it. So that's how things are done now, is everything is on the web, or maybe you have a local place. Maybe you have made a local file in your computer where you can run it. there. So last week, we talked about the different files we have there. So class 1, we talked about index.html, which is the layout of the website, and also the under the hood. Then we have the style. We have the style. And then we have, today we're going to talk about the file that is called mysketch.js. But first, I just want to do me a favor. And we're going to do this exercise. So we're going to go all, if you have this open, go to your index.html, and you're going to select the head. Remember what the head was the metadata. The metadata is the data that we don't see. So we don't see, but it tells something to the people who, to the bots that makes things happen on the web. It's the under the hood. It's all the mechanism under the hood of the machine that is the web. So we're gonna do me a favor. Well, first run it. And you're gonna see your website. Most of you're gonna have the silly, the silly text that I gave you, I didn't give you a choice. I just gave you, and you're gonna have a cat, and then you're gonna have this p5.js thing here with these circles going around. So everybody should have that. So remember that. Now we're gonna go and select the head and try to cut it. Don't delete it yet. Let's try to cut it. So go and right click. If you can right click. If you can't do it, you can just watch and see what happened. And you're gonna cut it. Okay, and go ahead and run it. Run the program. So here, right here in the circle, run it. And let's see what happens. So anybody can tell me what happens. No color or backgrounds. Anything else is missing? Yes, something is gonna be missing. We broke something. What else did we break? Sometimes in code, we need to break something to verify that something's working. It's kind of counterintuitive, but that's the way it works. It's a lot of testing. Anything else that is missing? Anybody notice something that went poof? Oh, remember, you go, if you want the split screen, you have to go to this little icon here, all the way to the right. You click on that. Then you go to editor, and you're gonna click on the second rectangle. So you click that, and then it'll go. And if you are on the code, like if you're running the code, like for example, if you are running, you are here, and I run the code, and you want to go back, you click code, and then it's the editor, and you click on the second one, and then you're gonna have split screen. So anything else? Anybody notice something else? So we don't have, somebody said we don't have background, we don't have color. Yes, sad world. The caterpillar window is missing. The caterpillar window is missing. So we cut that wire. The wire that cuts, that connects the canvas that makes the caterpillar with that sketch is gone. It's gone. See, it's gone. So like you said, it's very sad. So I'm gonna put it back, and if you can put it back. And if not, I'm gonna put it, I put it on the on the Handout, but I'm gonna put it back on Slack if you lost it for any reason. I'm always prepared because you never know. So I'm gonna put it in Slack just in case you lost that, you wanna put it back because it's a very important code. So put it back and then you can run it again. And then I'll tell you what each line, because I know everybody's been asking from the beginning, you all have noticed is being very curious about what all that code means. So go ahead and run it again. And everything should be back to the way it was. So let me know if everything went back. It's back. So mine is back. So while you do that, I'm going to get the Handout. And as you can see, the Handout, I put more information that we cover here just for you to have more. So you can have more information than I can provide you in the time that I'm with you. So the first, one of the things we eliminated, and that's where the color and the background went away, was the reference to the style sheet. So the style sheet is a file that we talked about last week. So when you remove that line, we lose the background and color, and that's what happened. So here are the code that we removed. And I have put the code here just in case you need it. So here is a list of all the code and what it means. So the first code is an open processing reference. So it's the code editor we use it. That's optional. When we go next week, we're gonna go into live, you don't need that code. It's something that open processing needs only the open processing company needs it. When we go to a real website that is live, we don't need it. So it's an optional line. Number two, I don't know if you can see it here, which is this long thing here that has all this Cloudflare and all this weird language and X's and J. That's a library to it's a library for p5.js. So what does it mean, a library? So we're giving open processing a book and telling it, we know open processing, you cannot read this language. You only can read HTML and CSS and maybe Python, but you cannot read p5.js. So we're giving you this book. So this, if you go to this site, you actually take that web address and you put it on a web browser, you're actually gonna find a live web address, a live web page. That's a library. So somebody somewhere, an organization is keeping this alive. So you can just reference, and there are other places. This is Cloudflare, and there are other places that offer that service. So this is the p5.js library. The third line is the p5.js sound library. So yes, we can add sounds to p5.js. So yes, you can have sound. So you can have these sound effects. You can have things moving at the same time having sound, which I'll let you up. It's up to you to find what you can do with things moving and sound. And you can, if you go to the open processing website and look at other people's sketch, it'll blow your mind of what it can be achieved. It's just, I mean, I can't even describe it. It's just unbelievable. And then number 4 is the reference to the p5.js file. So that's the one we're going to talk about today. And then number 5, the last one, is what we did last week, which is the CS style. Okay, any questions about that? So if you remove any of these, you can go later after class, you can test it out, remove each line and see what you break and how it breaks and what affects. And you will see how it gets affected. So any questions so far? Nope. Okay, so let's go and to the p5.js file, which is this one is called my sketch. And remember to save it. Keep saving it anytime you remember. Okay, so this is under my sketch.js. That's our p5.js file, which is basically JavaScript for drawing, to make art. So, so right now, that's where we get the caterpillar. So we have two functions. And I don't know if anybody remember from last, if anybody took that class, what happens on function setup. So something happened once and so happened forever. So when each one of these happens, things happen only one time, and one of these things happen forever. Anybody remembers? Canvas happened only once. Yeah, so the function, thank you. The function setup, so this one, I want to put this comments, happens once. That's very correct, thank you. And this one happens forever. So that means that this is like if you are going in a theater, you know, you go ever to a theater, to a play, it comes, the curtain comes only once. So that's what's going on here. The canvas, it comes only once, it's drawn only once. So the canvas is the gray part, this gray rectangle, and the background is the color. 100 is the color, is a gray, because it's on grayscale, because we have only one number. And then the function draw is the animation. So it's drawing constantly. So it's drawing where the mouse is. In this case, where the mouse is. So the mouse is X, mouse Y. So the first two parameters are X and Y, the position of the mouse. And this one are the dimension of the ellipse, because I'm using ellipse. So it could be the width and the height. So right now it's a circle. I can make it a little different, but I chose a circle. So it's drawing constantly a circle. It's kind of like they used to draw cartoons before. So that's why we get this caterpillar effect. So one of the questions we had before is we can move the cat. We can change the color of this text. We can move the text, but we haven't been able to do anything with this canvas. We cannot move it with HTML. We cannot change the color with CSS. So we're gonna do it right now. So we're gonna do something use something called create P. P, remember on HTML, we use P. Anybody remember what P was? Paragraph. So that same P is the same P we're gonna do here, but it's gonna be uppercase. So we're gonna do something. Yeah, so I'm gonna put the code. It's just easier if I put the code. and then you guys follow, and I'll tell you what's going on because I don't know what you guys have in your screen. So I'm gonna put it here on Zoom, and then I'm gonna put it on Slack. Where did my Slack go? So just take that code and put it on the file, on the my sketch.js file. The whole thing, like I send it. So you're gonna put that code that I just sent you the same way. So you're gonna put function setup, create canvas window width, which is creating the canvas the size of the window of the web page. So if the web page is this width, it will create the canvas this width. So that's what it's doing. Then the background is the color 100, which is a gray. And then it's gonna put create P. So create P is gonna create a paragraph, but it's gonna be attached to the, it's not gonna be attached. It's gonna be a paragraph. You'll see, it's better if you see it. And then it's gonna leave the drawing, the ellipse the same. So I'm gonna put it here. You guys just can take, if you want, you can just take the code I just gave you and just copy paste it into the sketch. So I'm gonna, this is the new line 4, I'm adding it. That's the only difference of whatever it was here. And then I'm gonna run it. You guys run it and let me know what happened. Did something happen? Oh no, it's missing again. No, it shouldn't be missing. Exactly. So yeah, that's Amantina one is correct. Hema, you might want to put the metadata again. You're missing the metadata. So you might want to look at the chat. I'll send you the metadata again. So I'm gonna run mine. And I'm gonna scroll down. Where is the code? It's taking a while, I guess. Oh, something was running. That's why. Well, something is not working for me. What is it? Oh, I think it's because of this that I put here. Yeah, because I put this here. So if you have that here, if you wrote that, take it out. There it is. So if you wrote, so this is what it should be on, I'm gonna put it here. And make sure, because remember we took some metadata, make sure you have the metadata here. you have this metadata is not missing? Oh, okay, cool. So I put comments, but I always forget how to put comments on JavaScript because every language has different comments. So, okay, so now you were able to put a paragraph element or using PJ5. But let's go and do something more attractive, more fun. Let's move this create P, and you can do it yourself. I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna just cut it, and then I'm gonna put it in the second function. So just put the create P in the second function. I'm gonna put it in on Slack so you can just follow along like that if you want, or you can do it yourself. Move the create P to the second function, to the draw function, and run it that way. And it'll be more fun doing it that way. And you see what I mean by that. So go ahead and run it. And what is happening now? Mine is very big. So I'm gonna make it smaller so you can see what's going on. So remember when I said the function draw is gonna go and run forever? So that's what it's doing. It's create a paragraph. It's creating a paragraph element forever, forever, forever. So if you scroll down, so you might want to stop it. Well, we have just a simple line. If you have a big line or a big paragraph, it'll crash your computer. If you have a picture, it'll crash your computer because it'll run forever. But a little words, it won't do that. But you can stop it just in case. So it is it'll we keep putting the same element over and over and over and over until it gets stopped. So that's a way, that's an effect. I know it's simple, but that's how everything starts. So let's try another one. Is that is okay with all of you? If I find my notes. Okay, here it is. So now that we have that, and you understand the difference, let's try a little bit of interactivity. So let's change. So let's take this out. So let's take this out and create another function. And that function is gonna be, remember when we used, if you were on PJ5 in our class of p5.js, we did something called mouse press. So add the mouse press function. So guess what's gonna happen now? Now it's gonna do what? What do you think it's gonna do now? So now we have the paragraph element inside the mouse press function. So what do you think is gonna happen now that we have that in the mouse press function? Yeah, so now it becomes interactive. So now it's not gonna be forever. Now we're gonna have it, maybe. Let me make this smaller because there it is. Now you can see it there. So when I press, it's gonna do this. So think about what can you do with this? What things? Maybe you can have raining tacos, or you can have, I don't know, random numbers or something like that. So what other things? So now that you learn how to do this with create P, which is P is an element. So we can do other things with other elements. So there are other elements, HTML elements, that you can do the same thing. So here is create P, but we can do create image. So where you reference an image, you can do create button, you can do a color picker, you can do video. So the same thing that we did just now, the same thing can be replicated using these elements here of this code, the syntax here with, and you will get the same thing. So try those, and I encourage you to try them and see what you get. So maybe you can do a create image and you get several images. And then maybe we learn how to move them in a little bit. So let's start with something else, something new. Now that you learned that, let's start with something new. So yes, you can move it. You can create an option. Can we use that in function? Yes, you can. So instead of doing this, so you can take this out. You can take this out. I think that's what they're asking. And then you can do, yeah, exactly. You can do create P either here, and it could be create P or it could be create radio, create bottom. Either way, any of these can be used either in function setup and draw, or when mouse is pressed. You can use it in any other functions. Actually, you can use it inside any function that you know that is applicable. So yes, you can use it here, you can use it here, and you can use it in the mouse press function. And you should just try and see what happened. I know we just did one yesterday with create image, and that was fun. So there is a lot of stuff you can do. So now sometimes you cannot have a given syntax, a given code like create div or create P. So you have to create an HTML element. And that's the case with the headings. So headings, you cannot do create heading. You cannot do create H1. You have to do something called create element. So you have to create an element. You have to use this syntax here, create element, when we don't have one of these tags available. So the way to do that is we write create element. So when we don't have these functions here available, we're going to use the create element function. And then the way the syntax work, for example, for heading, because we don't have one for heading, we don't have create a heading. So we're going to define it here. We're going to put heading, and then we're going to put a what is the heading gonna say? What is the heading gonna say? So we're gonna put the text of the heading. So I'm gonna give you the code. And go ahead and try it. And this one, we're gonna make it move, hopefully, if we don't run out of time. So basically, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna put the code here. So it's very similar to what we just did. So create canvas. Then we do the background. Then we do create element, use the function create element because there is no create H1 like we have create P. Then parentheses, we're gonna do H1, we can do H2, we can do H3, we can do H4. If you can do right now, you can change 1 to 2 or 4 if you want. This is the text that is gonna be represented by H1. And then we're gonna run it. So let's run it. And see what we get. So here we have, I'm heading 1. Okay, so far it's not great. It's nothing different, nothing out of the ordinary. So that's the output. But one of the things you notice is that it's the same format, then my cat is very grumpy. So you will notice that that's the same formatting. So it's still corresponding to the HTML heading one. So you know how it's amazing how so little code brings so much information. So somebody has a question? Yes, what is your question? Yes, 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 yes. That's what I was trying to explain, that it is so powerful that by us just writing H1, it's gonna bring so much information because we're bringing something that it recognizes is an HTML tag, but and this is the beauty of JavaScript. And that's why JavaScript is so popular with web design because it works so well with HTML. And you can see by now how well it works with HTML because it's so versatile, it's so flexible. You only have to say, give me H1, and then it comes H1 the same way that you have set it up on HTML. And you don't have to give it any more information. You don't have to explain what is H1, when to use H1. You don't have to use another library. You don't have to do anything else. You just say, give me H1, and that's it. So, and that saves a lot of work. Like you say, and I can see what your question, because I had the same question. And this is what is so amazing. And if you try H2, or let's do H4, just to be crazy here. So let's go to H4. See how little it is? So it changed to H4. And you can go on and on and on and change it. So let's try another one, and it's gonna get crazy. Not crazy, but it's gonna be get very interesting. So the next one, we're gonna talk about positions. So right now, the position here, we talk about the canvas position, how we haven't been able to change the canvas position. So we're going to change the canvas position and also the heading position. So we're going to use something called that position, and that's going to set the position of the element. And the position will be relative to the window. So like this corner here is going to be 0, 0. And I think you have to study like web design, but I think the standard is like 255 or 750, something like that. Don't quote me on that. There is a lot of books written about the width and the height of web designs. But anyway, you always have to remember this corner here, the upper left corner 0, 0. That's what we have to remember. And then so we created as you can see, we created here a canvas and we give it a width. The width is the width of the website, and the height, we didn't want to be bothered about the height and the width. So we just say, oh, you decide, you website decide the width and the height. I don't care. So it was, but now we can give it a specific width. So let's change this to 200 by 200, and those are pixels. So let's go in. The first thing we need to do is change that to 200 and 200. And that's going to be a little smaller, and it's going to help us visualize it better what we're going to do next. And you're going to see there our little canvas got smaller. So if you're follow along, just make sure you change line 2 to 200 by 200. So we're gonna introduce, I'm gonna introduce a concept called variables. So variables are things we computer science to put things in it. It's like a box that we put things in it so we can carry them with us instead of carrying, you know, like when you are in packing and you're carrying like 5 different bags, and it's better to put them all in a basket. So that's the same thing. So instead of carrying all these things all around, we're going to put it all in one basket. So we're going to do the same thing with the here. So we're going to create a variable because we need to find something. So the thing is, this canvas, we need to give it a position. And remember, I told you, we need to give it, we're going to use something called that. I'm not going to put this, something that position with a function called that position 0, 0. Oh. Okay, so you all can watch now, and then we can do it together again. But this is, I prefer that you all watch it now because we're gonna, it takes a couple steps to do this. So this is the function that is gonna tell the canvas where to go. So we wanna tell the canvas, go to 0, 0, which is the top corner. But we need to have here a name. And we don't have a name now. So what we're going to put here is like we don't have an adjective, a name, a noun to say, hey, canvas, go here. So we need to create a name, which is going to be canvas, which is a variable. So it's a box called canvas. And we're going to put this, all this information in the box that we created called canvas. See if I spell it the right way. So it needs to be spelled the right way. Otherwise, it's not the same box. So we create a variable called canvas. This is a box. In that box, we're going to put this thing that doesn't have a name. It's just create canvas. It's a function. It's a function, but it doesn't have a name. We cannot put it anywhere. So we have to assign it a name, and we assign it a name called canvas. And then we can do this. Now we can modify it. We can say, hey, go here. Okay. So now we have that. I can run it, and that is gonna move. So watch it where it's gonna move. If it works. So cross my fingers, it's gonna move. Yeah. So now it moves. So see how it moves? So I'm gonna give you the code. And just follow the code and let me know of any questions. So you on line 1, you're gonna type bar space canvas semicolon. Then on line 4, you're gonna do canvas equal create canvas, and make sure your canvas is 200 by 200. And then on line 7, you're gonna do canvas that position parenthesis 0,0 semicolon. And that's the way you change the position of your canvas. Isn't that great? And now you can move it anywhere you want. You can move it anywhere you want. You don't have to put it in 0, 0. You can put it 250, 400. You can move it wherever you want. The save button, oh gee, maybe when did you move it this way? If it's what browser are you using? Try to make your change the size of your window or your browser. Chrome, try to change it. Maybe when I'm using Chrome, but I never seen that. Maybe went too far. If not, you might want to refresh it and see if it shows up again. And don't save as fork, because that's something else. So any questions about moving the canvas? So now while you're doing that, I'm gonna put another, I'm gonna move now the heading. So remember the heading? So I'm gonna create another variable called h1. And now I'm gonna give h1 a position, h1 that position, and I'm gonna put a 0, 0, and you can give it some other position. And I'm gonna rerun it. And I did something wrong, did I? Because I misspelled position. What did I do? Reposition. Oh, I know what I did. Look at this. I didn't give it a name. That's why it didn't recognize it. So here is that. And then I'm gonna make something move, because that's what it's all about. So I'm gonna take this position, I'm gonna cut it. And remember how we make things move? We put it on the draw function. And then instead of 0, 0, remember, what am I gonna do? Mouse X and mouse Y. And then I'm gonna run it. And now see how that is moving. You see that? And let's put, I'm gonna put this one to H1 because it's too small and I want it to be bigger. So see, so that's, you can make stuff start moving. And then if you are tired of moving by hand, you can make things move by itself. And that's when things get interesting. And that's when you get into things like AI art, all the stuff is going on. I just put the code on Slack so you can use it. I'm gonna just put it here, and it's the same. I just make variables for the positions. So the positions are gonna be changing. So I put initial variables, and then the variables are gonna change randomly. So they're gonna be adding and subtracting by 10. So they're gonna be doing some math there. So I'm gonna rerun it, and then you're gonna see what's going on. And the colors too are changing. So I put also a fill. So line 18, I put a fill, and in the fill, in this one, the fill is static, but I have another code. And you can see in the handout where the fill is also changing randomly. And this is go back to what a lot of people are working on with art and using AI for art and see where it's taking. And they're using p5.js. And so any questions so far? Okay, I'm going to show you the last code before we go. We're over time, but I just want to show you the last code. And I have the rest of the code is in the handout. I put here some comments so you can take this out, and you can turn on and off the comments. So like, for example, you can delete this and it's on, and you can turn other off. So I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna copy paste. You have to have the cat. This one is gonna work with the picture of the cat and PNG. Yeah, PGIS only work with PNG. So you have to load up, and I put here a PNG file. So you can use this PNG file and load it up on open processing. And let's see what I messed up. Always messed up something with these comments. Let's see. Something. Okay, I have another one that I can show you. I don't know where. The one I was going to show you. Okay, so this is the one I made. And if you press the button, you changes the color. And this is random also. So I'm going to share this code with you since the other one wasn't working. So try this code. This is but you have to have the picture of the cat in PNG. And if you need the PNG, is in the handout. That's a PNG version of the cat. Okay, any questions